Welcome to Squeaky Controller. Today you're joining me for a playthrough of Tree of Life, the last mission in Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. It's essentially a boss fight level in which you finally face Lazarevich. First, there's a cutscene in which you see Lazarevich partake in some of the magical sap of Shambhala. I feel like now is probably the best time to shoot Lazarevich or his men. For some reason, Drake waits until he drinks the sap to take him out. By the way, maybe it's just me, but I kind of like the texture of the sap as they show it. It's some kind of jelly to my mind.
What the hell? Delay.
Certainly shouldn't have waited until Lazarevich drank that stuff, because now it seems he's invincible.
Hold your fire! Hold your fire! He's mine. Sorry, pal. You're not my type.
It seems strange to me that here Drake chooses to shoot the lake and not the actually formed sap, which is next to all those guys. He's not really sure what will happen if you just shoot the lake, right? Because it's different. It's not congealed.
No.
Now this part
No,
really reminds me of that bit from GoldenEye, the James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan. I'm invincible! And now the boss fight truly begins. Now, I think the best strategy in fighting Lazarevich, because he has a shotgun and he's pretty quick to get to you, is actually just to run around in circles in order to gain some distance from him. And once you have that distance, the only way to actually hurt Lazarevich is to shoot the sap when he's next to it. Because the sap explodes, and that's the only thing that actually hurts him.
Come and get me.
So you basically have to keep doing that. Here I'm trying a grenade, but I'm not convinced it's actually as useful or useful at all. You're basically trying to get to the next cutscene. There are four, and afterwards Lazarevich is down, and obviously he gets angrier and angrier after each cutscene.
Come on, you big ugly bitch.
So in order to hurt Lazarevich and activate the cutscenes, you have to damage him using the explosive sap, which is growing from the trees and all around the area. And don't worry, it reforms after you shoot it, so you don't have to take him in new directions. You can just keep running around and keep shooting the sap. And here you see this is the first cutscene in which now Lazarevich is clearly affected by those explosions, which means he gets angrier, and after each cutscene, he chases you faster, basically. But again, he only has a shotgun at this point, and that's a short-range weapon. So if you put some distance between you and him, you should be okay. There's also plenty of ammo in the periphery in the area where I'm running, so there's really not that many problems that you can encounter. Just make sure you keep running after each time that he gets hurt by the sap. Get some distance between you and him before you start trying to take him down again. This is the second cutscene. Now this is the second cutscene. Now he's gonna start throwing grenades as well, which can be pretty annoying because he throws like 3 and in a wide arc, so there's not many places for you to go. But since the grenades essentially fall and then are static, if you keep running around, they're not really going to hurt you. Obviously, look out for them. The likeliest time that he will hurt you with grenades is when you're stopped to shoot the sap, like now. And this is the third cutscene, which means you've almost got him. Again, he's going to rush at you right after this, so make sure to run away as quick as you can, which I did rather unsuccessfully there. And keep doing the same thing. Keep shooting the sap. If you're in the red, then feel free to take a pause, just get some distance between you and him. There's no rush. You need to just keep doing the same thing. Getting low on ammo, but again, there's plenty of it around. Just look out for the ammo packs. See, that was the thing not to do. I let Lazarevich get close, and I didn't shoot the sap in time. And that's that. That's how you take down Lazarevich. So basically, run around in circles. When you've gained some distance from him, stop, fire at the sap that is next to him, and that's the only way to hurt him, really. Now is a little cutscene in which, for those familiar with ludonarrative dissonance, is a little strange because suddenly Drake decides to be merciful and not shoot Lazarevich in the head. Which doesn't make a lot of sense since he's already mowed through hundreds of Lazarevich's troops. But anyway, maybe getting ripped apart by the indigenous people is just the death that Lazarevich deserves. Maybe getting shot is just too easy. But this part always rang out as false to me. I mean, we know who Drake is at this point. Now after this cutscene, you're just gonna have to run. The city of Shambhala is crumbling, and the only way is towards the exit. So look for the parts where the path extends the longest and jump there. But there's really not a lot that you can do wrong here. Even here, where I, fall backwards and then have to hang off the ledge. And here, I still have enough time. It's just a good-looking sequence. It looks cool. Everything's coming apart. But you pretty much have enough time to get to safety. It's kind of the last pulse-raising sequence in the game, so enjoy it. Now you finally caught up to Chloe and Elena. There's going to be a last little bit of action as this indigenous guy grabs onto her. And you might think that there's no point in just trying to shoot him with a normal gun because he's so hard to take down. But if you don't, then he'll take Chloe off the ledge with him. So make sure to at least try to hit him a couple of times. And that's that. Chloe saved you. And what follows is just one long cutscene to conclude the game. So while that plays, I'm just going to take this opportunity to talk about what I really enjoyed about Uncharted 2 and maybe what could have been better. First of all, it's a huge improvement over the first game, both in the story, the set pieces, the variety of the action, because the first Uncharted game, Drake's Fortune, is really just a Tomb Raider knockoff. It's very repetitive. The bad guys aren't hard to take down, but they're annoying. Whenever you shoot them, they kind of recoil, and then the next shot doesn't quite get them. This is much better in terms of variety. You have all sorts of different locations. You're in snow, you're in the jungle, you're in the city. Also, I think the developers really put in effort to make this game cinematic. There's a lot of great pulse-raising moments that are like right from a movie, and everything works to get your adrenaline pumping. Even the way the camera moves feels like you're in a movie. The story is a lot more interesting. That device of starting with the cliffhanger and then seeing how Drake gets to that point is intriguing and really propels the start of the game quickly. There's a lot of great guns. There is a lot of fun ways to play. Chloe is a fun addition. It's great that Yelena is back, continuity with the first game, and you see Drake and her really building on their relationship. Sully is around, which is great again. I've played all of my favorite missions in these walkthroughs, other than Locomotion, which is a great one as well. But there's a great variety to the way you play. I think the things that could be better is the ways that you can play. So it's still not really a stealth game. There are missions in which I tried to be stealthy and take out as many opponents as I could without raising an alarm, but that's almost impossible for a lot of missions, which is a little bit frustrating. I wish there were more ways to get through the levels. Really, the game just wants you to dive into the action and take everybody on the old fashioned way, which is fine, but it can get annoying when it seems like the design of the mission wants it to be possible for you to take people down strategically.
I'm not stubborn, I'm just
Also, there's not a lot of
restless.
Sully, which is a shame. He's a fun character in the first game, and I like his relationship with Drake.
Yes.
But again, Chloe's not a bad
I'm afraid.
substitute.
Metaphor ain't gonna pay your bills.
The fantasy elements work better here than in the first game for sure, where you're fighting against the Nazi zombies. But still, I think fantasy is where the Uncharted games are weakest. It does give you some variety in terms of bad guys who are really hard to take down, but it's a little bit silly.
Dirty old man, Sullivan.
But overall, I really like this game. I recommend it to anyone who's a fan of action adventure. It's clearly the reason why the franchise went strong after that, and I'm sure a lot of the cinematic moments in this game will feature in the Uncharted movies with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
For those of you who have been watching this series of walkthroughs, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. That will let me know that I should be doing this more often. There are a lot more walkthroughs that I would like to post for other games.
But then again, neither have I.
Good.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared were you that I was gonna die?
4.
4?
Yeah, why?
A 4.
Yeah.
You were at least an 8.
An 8?
You were a total 8.
An 8? Those Guardian things were an 8.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, those were terrifying.
What's a 10?
Clowns.
Clowns over my death?
I hate
Clowns?
clowns. I hate clowns.
Oh my word.
I hope these have been helpful. I really tried to give you fun ways to play these games and, show you gameplays which aren't perfect, which have a little bit of chaos involved, which are a little bit crazy. I hope I did that. If there's something you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. This has been Squeaky Controller.